All right, everybody out there in YouTube land, we're starting our second league of Grixis Day, apparently, with a little more of a stock list. This is 70 of the 75 that we've been kind of running. Just this straightforward Ragavan, Darcy, Expressive Iteration, except we're replacing Drown in the Lochs with Counterspell. Someone in chat suggested what would it look like with Counterspell. They said that Drown in the Loch's been underperforming with them. So we're just doing a straight one-for-one swap and seeing what happens. So it's going to be a lot of like being more selective with our fetches early to make sure Counterspell's live. A lot more sitting back, not playing as aggressively, a little more protect the queen. Hopefully we'll be a little bit better against some of the decks like 4-color with endurance. A little bit better against the go big decks that are getting above Drown in the Loch range. And we'll see how it goes. In the sideboard, since we're running Counterspell, we cannot run Giganta. So we replace the Giganta with an extra copy of Flusterstorm. And yeah, let's roll with it. See what happens. So this is match 1 of Grixis Shadow with Counterspells over Drown in the Loch. Alright, what are we hoping to see? What are we hoping to see? I mean, I guess, like, our matchup against Murktide theoretically should get a little bit better with Counterspell. I'm sure there's plenty of, like, random endurances that have messed up Drown in the Lochs for us previously. Something like, Yawgmoth could get better with Counterspell. Since you're often not wanting to like kill dudes, but countering them is more effective. Affinity would be one that might get better. We're able to Counterspell like Thought Monitors and big 7-mana dudes instead of sitting on a Drown in the Loch that can't counter or kill them. But I'm curious to see how the Counterspell over Drown like affects the flexibility in a lot of the early turns. Like, there's plenty of times on Shadow that I have the ability to Drown in the Loch something, but I don't want to. I want to wait until like end of turn to kill it so that I have all the information in front of me. Like maybe my opponent casts a 2-drop with 4 mana available, and if I counter it, then they might be able to sneak something else in under the Counterspell. But if I choose to kill it with Drown in the Loch, I can like wait until the end of the turn. If they don't play anything, kill it. If they play something better, I can counter that instead. But with Counterspell, you have to make like that initial choice immediately. Alright, round number 1. We are on the draw. Thoughtseize, Dragon's Rage Channeler, 5 lands. So I think we're going to ship this one back. Notably, we could go turn 1 Thoughtseize or Dragon's Rage Channeler into a Counterspell, but yeah, pretty easy ship back. No guaranteed delirium. Hand's not really doing anything. If we draw one more land, we're like ungodly battle. This is better. So definitely keeping Ledger Shredder and Croxa are both a little awkward here because both of them want me to just like tap out on turn 2 instead of Counterspell. I think I'm probably going to ship the Croxa. I'm a ways off of 4 lands, and if I draw 2 more lands, I'm not in a great spot anyway. Just burn. Not burn. Alright, what plays Sacred Foundry, Ragavan? My opponent said they're not going to snipe. So we'll go with it, I guess. Like, if your opponent says, I'm not going to snipe, you're supposed to believe them, right? Alright, so let's, Watery Grave, Fatal Push. Alright. Let's just sit on Counterspell here. And then if we do Counterspell something, the next turn we can like untap and Channeler and maybe Counterspell again. We're feeling crazy out here. Dotha Triome. Plains, Swamp Forest. This just Zoo. There's got to be a Zoo deck, right? Conveniently, Counterspell does look a lot better against Scion of Draco than Drown in the Loch does. Alright. My Channeler plus... I kind of wanted Channeler plus Thoughtseize. Or maybe Shredder plus Thoughtseize. I'm just kind of scared about getting my life total down too low. Like, my concern is that if I go... Shredder, Fetch Shock, Thoughtseize, and they just have, like... I don't know. Bloodbraid Elf, Tribal Flames, something else. But I think I do need to be mana efficient, just kind of like bite the bullet on it. Sets me up a lot better in the long run. Felix, Tribal Flames, Endurance. So, do I just want to take Endurance? Or, no, I just want to take the big burn spell, right? So I can just block the Endurance. Can't block that. Not block that. So Shadow to hand, Counterspell to the bottom, Steam Vents to exile. Interesting. So I want to kill the Kavu. I think I just bottom the expressive iteration and just say, like, I'm killing you in 2 turns. I'm going to do that. But I have to Unholy Heat now because it can Endurance otherwise. Endurance me, yep. I have been Enduranced. Let's do that one. All right. Backing in with both doesn't do anything for me. So this is kind of funny with this split. Like, the first chance we had Counterspell was the Scion of Draco. And Counterspell was 1,000 times better than Drown and Loch would have been. I think we can agree on that. The second time we had Counterspell was after they resolved the Territorial Kavu, and Drown in the Loch would have been significantly better. So, I think it's a little bit of a funny disparity there. I could have attacked with both, but I think I just don't need to. If they go for, like, Lightning Helix, yeah, on the Shadow. Counterspell that. Could resolve the Dragon's Rage Channeler first. Not a big deal, but just gave me a look at, like, trying to make sure that this Ledger Shredder connive something live. Wouldn't have changed anything right there. Draco's fine. That has to chump block the Shadow. So something like Mishra's Bauble would be best draw. Mishra's Bauble could have flipped over whatever card was on top to, like, the Channeler trigger to allow me to escape Kroxa. And then here, I'm not attacking with the Dragon's Rage Channeler intentionally in case my opponent has something like Bloodbraid into Tribal Flames off the top. I can afford to play around that. Oh, the fetch lane gave me Delirium, didn't it? I thought it was 2 cards in the yard. Or 2 card types. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I was thinking more about not pushing the damage so that I can hold up the blocker. Alright, so Dress Down kills Territorial Kavu. Also knocks the flying off of Scion. Terminate kills whatever dudes we need to kill. Hey Command. Kills Scion. Kills Bloodbraid, ditch a card. That's about it. Meh. Board out a Kroxa. A little slow. Probably board out a... I don't really want to board out a Thoughtseize. Maybe a... No. Shredder's okay. Take that back. I will board out a Thoughtseize. Lightning Helix, Tribal Flames. Possibly Bolt. I think that's enough burn to make me not want to do, like, insane amounts to myself. I think I can do better. If this were a red source, I would keep pretty easily, but... Alright. Stitch. Thoughtseize. Alright, so getting Delirium would be nice. Getting second land would be nice. Basic planes. Scion, Kavu. Okay. Fetch land for Delirium. Nice. Alright. Let's go get Watery Grave. And I'm going to start with Thoughtseize. Keep that. They do have the Endurance. So we'll just... We know they're drawing dead with the Windswept Teeth. So we'll just take the Endurance. Unholy Heat the Kavu. Keep the land on top. Bash in with Channeler. You may have your Windswept Teeth. Okay. Fair enough. Counterspell looking solid that game. Obviously, there was at least one time that we would have preferred Drown in the Loch when they resolved the Territorial Kavu that we didn't know about off the top. But every other time, Counterspell looked good. Now I'm going to wait till you get a match. It was the last game of the league for me. How'd your league end up? Two, three. Well, I'm sorry for not making you cash. I kind of saw the nuts game too. Like, I can't lie about that. Still does feel like with some actual time put into the list, it could be even better. It could be, potentially. Kind of a weird hand. We don't have Counterspell or Ledger Shredder mana. But I'm kind of hoping that I'll just be able to, like, maybe Unholy Heat something, untap, Ledger Shredder plus Bobble. Never mind. Well, we're looking for a matchup that Counterspell would be better than Drown against. Ever there was one. This is it. Ready, you. Do some family stuff for a bit. Come back. Mike's playing G Tron. Some things never changed. Not wrong. How pissed is the modern community about the Yorion piles right now? It's kind of a weird division. So you have a lot of people, obviously, that absolutely hate them. That's a lot of Unholy Heats. A lot of people that absolutely hate the pile decks for understandable reasons, like they're pretty miserable to play against. But then you have a lot of people that like that make the argument about like Modern is okay to have a best deck. And I don't think those people should be listened to. Like there's a very big difference between it's okay to have a best deck and having a best deck can prove problematic to the format. And I think we're at the latter part. We're like having a best deck is problematic to the format because the best deck just doesn't have any weaknesses. All right. All right. I'm going to Unholy Heat my own Ledger Shredder because this clock isn't going to get me there. I need to speed up the clock, and I think the best way to do that is to try to find ways to get, like, Shadow, Thoughtseize going, get rid of this Ulamog. Like, obviously, it would have been a lot better if we'd drawn a fetch land there instead of the Thoughtseize to get down the Shadow. But I wanted that Connive. And very rarely is it someone who doesn't play the deck that sticks up for it. Anyone who sticks up for that pile or Uro back, then we're usually playing the deck. A lot of the times, yeah. People saying, like, it's definitely not problematic. It's fine. There's plenty of ways to beat it. Like, I'm gonna have questions about that one. Messed up fair decks always prove to be more toxic than messed up combo decks that eat a quick ban. A lot of the times, yeah, because people seem to think that, like, just because a card isn't directly combo oriented or something like that makes it fine. And that's very often not the case. Like, just because a card doesn't directly combo doesn't mean that it's just automatically safe. What, they top deck? Ugin. Yep. And one of the things that I absolutely hate, and I know I've mentioned it here, and I'll mention it plenty more times down the road. I absolutely hate the argument of, well, cards A, B, and C shouldn't be banned because cards D, E, F exist in the format, and they're way worse. That doesn't mean that your card is fine. That doesn't mean that your card is healthy or should be around or anything like that. That's a problem with all the cards collectively, not one little subset of them. So, like, it drives me crazy when that argument or that set of arguments come up. Like, oh, yeah, Solitude's fine because Sigarda's Aid exists in the format, and that's way more unhealthy. Or Omnath is fine because it's a 4-mana sorcery speed creature when, I don't know, Expressive Iteration exists in the format. Like, no, that doesn't make Omnath fine. That's a pretty bad hand. I think I need to mulligan aggressively to, like, Ragavan plus Iteration or something like that. Alright. It's not great, but I mean, it's got a plan. Throw back Watery Grave, Swamp. Also, Ben, what's up? Plenty of ways to beat it with a legacy deck, maybe. You get Force of Will to the format. But yeah, Omnath is a huge problem. Like, one of my favorite things to do the people in the Grimflayer Discord all the time is you take a look at the 4-color Omnath list or the 4-color Yorion pile list, and they're so different. Like, okay, here's a 5-color Wargate deck and, like, Bring to Light and stuff. Here's Endurance and Ewit, Spyro, Obsidian Charmaw, Mirror Shell Crab. What the fuck is Mirror Shell Crab? And, okay, here's Ice Fang Coatls and Fury and Solitude and stuff. Cool. What does this one have? That's more Ice Fang Coatls. That's pretty standard. Oh, this one's got Planebound Accomplice and the Felidar Guardian stuff and all this. And that's pretty cool. Vivian of the Hunt. The problem with all of these is every single one of these you can look at for Ren, for Teferi, for Omnath. Because those cards just carry the archetype. It doesn't matter the other 68 cards you put with it. It doesn't. Because you just have Teferi, Ren and 6, Omnath, and they just win. Like, you can put whatever you want alongside them. It truly does not matter. And that blows my mind. Like, it absolutely cracks me up. It's just like, cool, I've got this Omnath version that has traverses and Emrakul the Promised in and stuff like this. And like, who gives a shit? You have a 4-color Yorion Omnath pile. Nobody cares about the rest of it because it does not matter. Emrakul's disgusting. Absolutely is. Doesn't matter. Like, you might win a game because you got Emrakul in the deck every now and then, but 95% of your wins, Emrakul does nothing. Alright, we get to flip into Delirium. That's pretty fun. Power plant, mine, towers. So they do have Tron. They do have Karn. They can get Bridge. Turok. I don't think I want Turok. Graveyard. That do anything for me? I'm going to put Thoughtseize on top. Search Islet might. But I'm thinking if they go Karn Bridge here, then I might just want to be able to like kill the Karn, hit them, Thoughtseize the Ulamog or something. Or if they get something bigger, like something they can cast next turn, then maybe I get to just Thoughtseize that. Like maybe they get like 3rd expedition map or something. 4th one out of the board. And just play and crack that to get another tower to cast Ulamog. Then I get to like kill Karn, hit them for 5, Thoughtseize the Ulamog. Maybe get Fiery Islet. So next turn I'll have Crack Expedition map. Let's say we get Fiery Islet. Play that. Thoughtseize. Ragavan Treasure plus here will give me the 2 mana I need to cast something that I find off of that. So do get Ensnaring Bridge. Opponent, this is why you earn the big bucks. Alright, so let's go. Attack Karn. Attack you, attack you. Is there any reason not to swing everything at them? Or any reason I would rather swing everything at them? Like any top decks I really want to go for. On no bolts. There is a K command. K command is like it. I could kill right now if I see K command off the top with a Dragon's Rage trigger. Is that worth it? I know they've got Ulamog, Forest, Unknown. Well, I'm already in combat. But the problem is, if I seize first, then I take Ulamog, and I can't attack with these two channelers. So I can't attack or seize before I attack. But I'm trying to figure out if I want to swing everything at them so that I've got Expedition Map, Crack, look for... Or no, I have to hit them with Channeler to unlock Expedition Map. I'm stupid. This is fine. Can't do it any differently. Karn liberated. One more land and we could have hard cast that. And that would have been an out to everything. Let's get Fiery Islet. Cast our Thoughtseize. Keep Alpine Moon on top. Take Ulamog. Crack Islet. Cast Alpine Moon. Just looking for K command now, right? Yeah. If I had Thoughtseize first, they couldn't attack because they only had 3 cards in hand. I would have taken them down to 2, and Ensnaring Bridge would have prevented them from attacking if I had Thoughtseize before I went to combat. Bobble now in case I draw into like a counterspell. Speak to the devil. Alright. K command, Croxa. Let's fire this off for the channeler triggers. Okay. Expressive Iteration, K Command, Croxa, any of these things. Nope. Electric Bob coming in with a raid. Thank you so much. Hope you're having an awesome, awesome day today. Welcome, welcome everybody. If it's your first time being here, my name is Michael, or Control Freak on Magic Online. Play a lot of Modern, especially a lot of Death Shadow. And we are currently in a bit of a stalemate against Tron. I say stalemate. We're just like trying to find one of our 75 spells we can cast here. Almost convinced Bob to raid Amaranth, but gotta say, you're hotter, Michael. I mean, we can start a hot tub stream here. We have the technology. I'm just gonna keep playing out dudes. Say we have the technology. I don't think we actually have the technology. Alright, Expressive Iteration. There's 4 of them in the deck, and we have gone through half of ours. If Expressive Iteration doesn't find... my god. That... We can attack with Shadow, or with Ragavan, though. That's pretty fun. Warping Whale. Okay. I have to donate for that technology. That's a terrifying idea. But yeah, we just finished playing a, the beard is smexy. Try to keep it up kept. We just finished playing like an old school Shadow list. Gurmag, Stubborn Denial, everything. We ended up 3-2, so now we're playing Counterspells and just Grixis. Our opponent's out here being a big fat meanie, drawing Karns and stuff. Wanted to lose Delirium. I'd rather, like, find an Expressive Iteration and just get the game over with. Oh, they didn't crack Sanctum of Ugin either. Alright. Expressive Iteration. Expressive Iteration. Expressive Iteration. Expressive Iteration. Deck, why do you do this to me? One Expressive Iteration in the top half of our deck. Just one. Just one singular, sad little Expressive Iteration. You're gonna get Sundering Titan. Gotta blow up your own land with that one. Walking Ballista. See, they've seen 3 Karn the Great Creators, and we can't see 1 Expressive Iteration? That doesn't seem fair. Liquid Metal Coating, you got it. I swear, if you flip over this Colligan's command... Give me the Colligan's command. Just one time off the top, Colligan's command. They probably have a Veil of Summer or something by now, but we can't worry about that. Colligan's command. Yeah, you got it. Bruh. Bruh. Deck, who hurt you? Why? Why hath God forsaken me? We get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 5 ballista here. Got it. I don't have a land. Don't have that land either. But you know what I do have is this Colligan's command off the top. Bunch of artifacts, bunch of instants, sorcery. Activate this other relic. Ooh. Is that all my sorceries? It is. One step at a time. You've not prayed to the shadow of death. That's why God's forsaken you. Oh, maybe this does it. Give me that sweet, sweet Colligan's command. I believe, deck. I believe. You can do it. Please, oh shadow of death. Give me a spell. Can't even, like, be mad about that one. I would have liked it 15 turns ago, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. The deck does indeed hate me at the moment. I don't even know what I did to it. Alright, so land. It's finally just getting ballista. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, see, told you they were going to get Sundering Titan. Guess they can just blow up all my lands. Alright. How far away was an expressive iteration or Colligan's command? 3 more cards. There's 2. There's another Croxa. There's another expressive iteration. Alright, how far was the Colligan's command? There, 8 from the bottom. Right where we want it. Right where we want it. It was like right around the corner. If the corner was like 17,000 miles away. Ah. Okay. I shouldn't be upset that the distribution of the deck gave us no expressive iterations in the top half, plus a couple cards. But I mean, like, the deck could have also given us counter spells and things we could cast to trigger our Dragon's Rage channelers. But we kept getting lands and dudes. And not like the Croxa dudes, like the Ledger Shredders and Shadows behind Ensnaring Bridge dudes. Alright. So let me do my my call to action real quick before I forget. First off, everybody hanging out on the channel today, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Always appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, again, my name is Michael. Play a lot of Modern, especially a lot of Death Shadow. Been dipping our toes into Pioneer recently a little bit. But for the most part, play a whole bunch of Modern. If you are enjoying the channel, feel free to hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything, just lets you know whenever we go live so you can come check out future content. Otherwise, I'm dropping a link to the YouTube channel in chat. It's great if you want to see like itemized leagues of other Shadow variants, as well as cards we've tested out, things like that. Premiere events we always upload on there. There's a link to the Twitter, the best place to check it out if you're wanting to know when the stream's going live. Always update on Twitter before a stream goes live with whatever I'm playing. And then a link to the Discord. It's really new, really up and running. Still getting a hang of like what we want there. So if you've got suggestions that you want to drop, I'm all ears. But it's a great place to like see what kind of Shadow variants we're working on or other formats. Great place to drop suggestions if you're thinking a certain build or brew might work really well. That's all. That's it. That's my call to action. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Alright, Dress Down's not terrible. Opponent has revealed no companion and a blood crypt. Ah, yes, Goblins. That was my initial thought. My opponent revealed blood crypt. No companion. Okay. Goblins. Goblins, 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 goblins. Do I want to dress down a War Marshal? You know what? I'm feeling spicy. More or less, I just want like Dragon's Rage Channeler triggers so I can try to get it flying over the Goblin Menace. At least we can undress their goblins. We can try. Alright. Let's go you. Go away. Logger Harbinger. You I will keep. So Croaks at a hand. Let's say Mire to the bottom on Holy Heat to exile. Just gonna swing in with both, because if they block the Ragavan, like the Ragavan's never getting through again anyway. Like, that dream has died. But if they block, then I at least get to trade off this Unholy Heat for a Dragon's Rage Channeler trigger. That's kind of worth it. Especially if it finds me more expressive iterations. Of note, this is a matchup that I would rather Drown in the Loch be, or rather Counterspell be Drown in the Loch. Because of Cavern of Souls and such. Goblin Chieftain. Okay. So if that's the case, I think I'm just gonna Croxa, play a tap shock land, draw into that Unholy Heat, and heat the Chieftain. That way I can escape the Croxa next turn, or like Expressive Iteration into something. Sling Gang Lieutenant. Why the hell are you discarding a Sling Gang Lieutenant for? Oh, that card's phenomenal. That's like best card against me. Unless they just a Ringleader. Ringleader's not the most fun thing to deal with. Alright, be nice. Skirk Prospector, Mog Fanatic, Goblin Matron. Okay. Could have been worse. Kill the Chieftain. Just gonna bin Ragavan. Goblin matchup has to be that good. Be not that good to medium. Yeah, like it can be okay if you put good pressure on your opponent. And I say okay very loosely. It's never going to be good. But, I mean, if able to just, like, get Croxa back here and start really swinging in, then it can be not unwinnable. Like, we're certainly in a position to have a reasonable shot. We've got Croxa, we've got Channeler coming in over the top. Got Fatal Push for this Ringleader in case they have, like, land Kiki Jiki or something. I really hope this is hard cast Kiki Jiki. I pray to the Elden Gods this is hard cast Kiki Jiki. It's not hard cast Kiki Jiki. Unless they're getting that storm count up. Okay. Is this gonna be go get Kiki Jiki? Snoop. Alright. Is there any reason I should respond to this? He could hit exactly. No, Kiki Jiki doesn't matter. He doesn't have haste. I was gonna say Sling Gang Lieutenant was the one I didn't want to see off the top. That's pretty funny. I beat a Sling Gang Lieutenant here. That's a good start. I should have thought about the fact that I don't get a second red source. Sling Gang Lieutenant off the top. So Sling Gang Lieutenant is ETB. Alright, they have to block right here. They discard, have to block, put them down to at least 5. Sling Gang Lieutenant plus attack is 6 damage. 2, 3, no, 7. But no, because only 1 gets through, so it's 6. So I swing in with both. Put them down to 5. They untap. They play Sling Gang. Only card they have. They've got 2 attackers to get in. I block one of them. They sack that one. I go to 6. And then they've got the second attacker putting me to 5. Sling Gang. 2 goblins that Sling Gang presents. So 4 sacrifices. So I go to 1. So I'm fine. These have to attack, so I can go ahead and do that. So the question is, am I supposed to... I have to play the Channeler because I need the blocker. Okay. So yeah, they would have been dead to Croxa plus Channeler trigger anyway. But... that counting the Croxa pitch? It was counting the Croxa pitch, assuming that they discarded a non-land card, which they did. Am I planning on going to Atlanta? Don't think so. I think the next thing I have on the schedule is DreamHack Dallas, but that's like a ways off. Rid of some counter spells. Really not very geared up for goblins. Might want Turok just as an extra dude. Probably not, though. Yeah, like, the damage that I was doing to them didn't matter too much. I just needed to minimize the damage that they were doing to me. Log, fantastic. So if that's the case, let's play around Blood Moon. I'm just going to turn one, get a basic Swamp Thoughtseize. The old heavy combo hand, eh? Think I can still win? Possibly at this point. Really, at this point, it depends on if my opponent sees like third and fourth land in time. Let's go Shredder. Do Bobble. It's pretty good. Yeah, just discard the Islet. Go. Okay. So I know 3 of their 4 cards aren't a land. Really, that counts for something, right? Of course, the last one's Munitions Expert. Alright. How about a Shadow? Shadow off the top. Hey. All it takes is a little positive thinking. Then opponent not to hit the 3rd land drop. Damn it. Alright, so their hand is Harbinger, Matron. Gonna Matron for another Munitions Expert. No, Snoop. Don't Matron for the Snoop. You don't need the Snoop. Snoop's not doing anything for you. Snoop does big fat nada. Like, spoiler alert, you're not winning through my major removal spell deck with a combo that requires a non-summoning sick creature. If I choose to not let you kill me through that. Like, if I get to get my opponent to just go Snoop into Snoop, then I've effectively time-walked them twice. And spoiler alert, that's good for me. Keep spoiling everything. I know I'm a terrible person. Ooh, that's great. So I get to kill you, crack Islet, kill you, sure. You're great. Let's go shock in. Swing with gentlemen. Yep. 3. Guess what? Here's another one. Another one. Snoop Tribal. Yeah. Like that. Cool. You've got Snoops for days. And I don't particularly care about any of them. Alright. What do we got round 3? So far we've had Counterspell was good in 1.5 matches, bad in 1.5 matches. I'm going to say it was 50-50 against the Zoo deck round 1. Because we had moments that Counterspell was better against, like, Scion of Draco. Is that the name of it? Scion of Draco. And then turns where Drown in the Loch was better against, like, the top-decked Territorial Kavu that we could have killed if we had Drown, but we had Counterspell. So I'm going to... I guess that game was like a wash for that match. So the score is 1-1 right now. Counterspell v Drown in the Loch. How will this exciting saga conclude? Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Alright, what do we got for round 4? We're going to die roll. We're going to die roll with a Ragavan. No companion revealed again. Good old living end. I would like to find counterspells, please. You're not counterspell. Alright, so I think here we're going to go Shredder, eat the Shredder, ditch the Croxa, throw the Shredder. Try to get this Connive trigger to help us find a counter spell. Brooks, Shredder is fine. Say go. All right. Well, we get to Thoughtseize. That's a start. Yep. Do have the force negation, so now we're completely hoping that Ledger Shredder draws us into Counterspell. That thing. Survey says Counterspell. Okay. Can't kill a whole lot. Guess we should have Unholy Heated before that. I forgot that was discard too. I thought it was just cycle. Yeah, I want to Unholy Heat this in case I find a not that. I hate showing them Counterspell here. I don't think there's a great way. I had Revolt, but I would have had to have cracked my treasure token for push, which meant I couldn't escape Kroxa if I found a land. And I think escaping Kroxa is a little bit more important. So instant. Back land. Alright, well that's all the living ends gone. Yeah, I had Revolt without cracking it, but I only had a Steam Vents. I couldn't cast Living End, or I couldn't cast Fatal Push off the Steam Vents. Like, I had to crack the clue to get black mana, or the treasure to get black mana to cast the push. I don't think I can attack here. Like, it wasn't a not having revolt issue. It was I couldn't cast Fatal Push without black mana, and the only black mana I had access to untapped was my treasure token. But if I tracked or cast it off the treasure token, then I would have only had 3 lands if I'd had hit a land to cast Kroxa. His opponent giving us a potential gift. So, like, I can block the Shadow on the Waker, take the 5 off the Striped Riverwinder, and have everything swinging back. I can block Kroxa on the Riverwinder and just like chump on the Waker. That's probably better, right? If they have like land 4-drop, that could be pretty awkward for me. Donnie, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Thursday wherever you're at in the world. Or if it's Friday morning for you, happy Friday morning. Appreciate you coming around and hanging out. We're playing some Grixis Shadow with Counterspells over Drown in the Lochs. Trying that out. Well, then I'm glad I didn't leave the Riverwinder unblocked. That would have sucked. Really needed to find like a fetch land there. Something that could grow the Shadow past the Waker. They have 4 living ends? Whew, that could have gotten scary quick. They've got all 4 living ends. Alright, so our out is opponent swinging with both. Bless you, my child. Bless you. You're the real MVP opponent. Find fetch land. Okay. Best case scenario, they find a fetch land. They attack with both to put me down to 2. I guess they don't even need a fetch land. They just attack with both, put me down to 2. Play the 4 mana, do the Curator Mysteries, and I find a fetch land to be able to fetch and Fatal Push the blocker. Alright. Should we just get back to Kroxa? I guess it's fine if I Fatal Push and just make them chump block with this Waker. Yeah, that's fine. And I guess I should Thoughtseize. I'm not afraid of anything dealing direct damage. I've got my mana. Oh no, why did I... Oh, why didn't I Thoughtseize first? Why did I think I had lethal there? Huge punt. Jeez, why did I think I had lethal? I was like, oh yeah, I fetch, and then he has to chump with the Waker. I could have shocked. I could have Thoughtseized first. Ah, that's such a punt. That feels horrendous. I think I was mostly just like so surprised it got to that point. Like, what do you mean we have a chance to win this? We don't have a chance to win this. Ugh. Oh, man. What a punt. God, I hate that. Stop and think next time. Just stop and think. We did learn, though, that they've got all 4 copies of Living End in their deck. Alright, looking for Hearse. Thoughtseize is good. Curator, Brazen Borrower, Subtlety. Just take Brazen Borrower. Say go. How many of the cyclers in this deck are from Amonkhet block? Curator of Mysteries is... Striped Riverwinder is... I've seen some running the like 5 or 6 mana black dude that gives something -1/-1 whenever you cycle. I know he's from Amonkhet block. Alright, do I want to aggressively look for Threat or Flusterstorm? No, I do not. Two curators down. Alright, let's counterspell something here. Counterspell that. Main phase Shardless Agent with Mystical Dispute backup. Endurance can eat a counterspell. All right. Let me go to my draw step. Ooh, baby. All right. I like our chances here. Subtlety, unknown. So they win if they have Subtlety, Force of Negation, Mystical Dispute. They do not have Subtlety, Force of Negation, Mystical Dispute. On to game 3. We'll take a second to vaguely... We'll make them think that we're debating our sideboard choices and swapping things around. And like, I think it was Paulo Vitor Damarosa that said, even if you're not sideboarding something, sideboard something. So like, if you're playing in paper and you're going to sideboard, like, always put some card in your deck and take something out. Even if you take the exact same cards and just, like, put 3 into your deck and then go through and pull those same 3 right back out, it's fine. Just don't let your opponent know that you're 100% doing the same thing over and over again. Damn it, had to walk away and miss the punt. I hate missing those. It was bad, too. It was a bad punt. Like, we went from probably 99% to win that game to 0. All because I didn't Thoughtseize pre-combat. Like, I honestly don't think we could have lost that game 1 from the position we were in if I didn't make that punt. Which is crazy to think about. Like, crazy to think about it being, like, that significant of a punt, I mean. Alright. Well, seeing my opponent ditch all their grief fuel means they probably drew a living end. And our hope is just, if they do have a way to get living in, it's just off of like a shardless agent, so we can at least counter it. I guess this is endurance. If they've got like endurance into grief plus living end, I think we're just kind of SOL. Opponent also messed up by attacking with this Charlotte's agent. You were just being nice. That's fair. That's a solid point. No endurance. Alright. Well, if they don't have an endurance, I'm just passing the turn. Maybe they go for one into turn, but... fun. I just want this... petty theft. Petty theft is fine. I just want double counterspell since they showed me grief. Might change up my tone if I find like a Thoughtseize or something, but... Okay. Hey, don't flash in Brazen Borrower? Like, what are you doing? What hand can you possibly have that constitutes not flashing in Brazen Borrower? Subtlety. Alright, so we're going to put this on the bottom. Hardcast a Ragavan. Say go. Counterspell. Start with expressive. Force negation. All that. Get down Shadow here. Double counterspell back up. There you go. Hit me with that subtlety. One time. Expressive iteration. Pierce. Oh, man. I wonder if they're actually sitting here with, like, multiple violent outbursts in hand. Alright, that's really, really good. Let's go Ledger Shredder. Thought Seize. Ragavan. Ditch. Shredder. They actually do just have a bunch of violent outbursts. I'm taking Mystical Dispute. Yeah, because if they draw a black card and ditch to Grief, then I don't have to worry about Grief or Force. I just want to attack with everything. Trade here. Block here. No, they have to block the Shadow. Yeah, I like attacking with everything. Shredders or Brazen Borrower's fine. This is fine. I don't care about that Ragavan. Did you find the red source finally? Because honestly, this is kind of hilarious that they haven't had a red source for this long. With just triple violent outbursts in hand. Like, I'd have been dead a while ago. Justice. Justice prevails. We punt our way to a win. So you're telling there's a smidge of justice. There's always a smidge of justice. It might not be as much as you want, but the non-zero amount of justice. Alright. Thought season, do a bunch of counter spells. So let's start off with a Watery Grave. We go ahead and start working on our double blue for these thought seizes, or for these counter spells. Sorry, threw up a little bit in my mouth there. Why do some people hate fun? What's the appeal? I mean, why do you dislike the world so much that you feel like you need to play Smallpox? Who hurt you? We're just gonna hope that they, like, straight up go for the Smallpox, but there's no reason to when they can just Ravens crime us out of the game. Yep. So they're down to Loch, Thwain, Mishra's Factory, Smallpox. I am in fact still alive, though playing this match makes me not want to be. Just like most miserable match in Modern. Sure. Take your pick. Want a Raven's Cry me too? Shrieking Affliction. I want that one around. Alright. Best case scenario is what? When its last card, Smallpox. So best case scenario is we draw into Croxa here. They have to Thought Seize away our Croxa. Then we draw a land and get to escape Croxa and get rid of Smallpox. That's best case scenario. So Dress Down draws into Croxa. So weird looking Croxa. Or we can just find Croxa off the top. That's fine too. We don't discriminate about where our Croxa comes from. Opponent types in chat, does Mr. Dress Down kill my Mistress Factory? I'm too lazy to Google it. And I'm like, nah. It doesn't. Like, that was pretty funny. It's really funny. All right. Shadow off the top. Fiery Islet into Shadow off the top. Expressive Iteration into Shadow. Not cracking their peat land, eh? Now this we're pretty happy to see. I kind of want to type back to him in chat, like, Fatal Push does kill your Mishras. Sorry. Grixis. Yeah, I probably should have kept the land over Thoughtseize. I was more thinking that they were just going to top deck a land and Ravens Crime me. So I didn't think that, like, I was going to get to keep the card regardless. But if they didn't Ravens Crime, like when they played the peat land, then you're right. I should have kept the land for Kroxa. Alright. Opponent, I'm asking you to please draw dead for a turn. That's not drawing dead. Alright, so one answers to Urza's Saga. Cheap stuff, the Shrieking Afflictions and whatnot. Maybe I want Hearse because it deals with Raven's Crime. What do I not want? Terminate, push, number of heats. Like, I think Turok just as a 2-mana 2/1 is reasonable. I probably want to trim all my more expensive counter spells if I'm bringing in, like, Spell Pierce and Flusterstorm and whatnot. Poured out another heat. Yeah, so if we had found, or if we had kept the lands correct, we would have gotten a shock land tapped off the first one, and the second one could have gotten basic swamp, so it would have been at a higher life total. As funny as that is. Oh, MTGO is getting a little laggy. Raven's Crime. Alright, let's ditch Saltseas. Yeah. If I hit a land, then I'm going to be able to, like, hearse away the Raven's Crime. Man. Weather's getting a little sketchy outside. Alright, so let's just play the hearse. Exile the crimes. There you go. You do the crime, you gotta do the time. And the time involves being under an unlicensed hearse. Smallpox? Like Chalice of the Void? No. Alright, so let's go. Attack with Ragavan. Channeler. Iteration. Venue. And I really want to keep the second Ragavan. I think I do, actually. I think it's, like, reasonably likely that my opponent just has, like, a Liliana the Veil here or something like that. And I just want to untap and play a new Ragavan. Or they have a rack. In which case, I'm probably not playing anything. Or we attack, and if they block with Mishra's Factory, we just go, like, Ragavan Shadow. And Shadow races a rack fairly well. Oh wait, they can just activate it on itself. God, I hate Mishra's Factory. Oh, they don't. Why didn't they? Oh no, because summoning's sick. It's not one to activate it. Oh man. I'm terrible at this game. There's a Ragavan. There's a Shadow. Here's a pass. Like, I've never paid attention to Mishra's Factory. And for some reason, I was convinced that it was just like, pay one, make it a 3/3. But it was kind of like, in my mind, it was like the, oh my god, the Madness Root Wallace cycle where you could only do it once per turn. Alright. Having this fiery islet here is clutch. Yeah. The fiery islet means that even if they went like Shrieking Affliction, Thoughtseize or something, or not Thoughtseize, Inquisition, then I could still draw a card on my upkeep, prevent a damage. Well, I guess I would still die to Shrieking Affliction, Inquisition or something. But, like one Shrieking Affliction, something, I could still draw a card on my upkeep. Prevent one more damage off the rack. I want the other copy of Dress Down. Only good against the what's it called? Urza Saga. Nah. Alright, I don't want a mulligan. Where's my channeler? Okay. So need to find a land. We'll just let this go. Should take the Croxa. You don't want to discard cards. Okay. Land. Oh boy. Liliana, the Last Hope. You know, when I made the comment about I can play around Liliana, it's not the one I was thinking about. Alright, so I could play Croxa, I could play Hearse. I'm just gonna play Hearse. Both of them. All right. Interesting. All right. So what we'll do is dash Ragavan, hit Liliana. Pass the turn. Discard Shadow. Trying to like high roll this a little bit. I'm hoping I can get like I guess we'll be fine, right? Because they have to discard to Croxa or lose whatever it is. Yeah. Alright. So let's go black, red for Croxa. We want you to discard first. Crew the Croxa. Or crew with Croxa. Croxa goes away. Then we attack down Liliana. Alright, so just discard our Pain Land. Play the Ragavan. Through the hearse. Get in there with the hearse. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the best hearse has ever looked for me. So, there's that. Okay, so what do we think? Our only loss there was to Tron. We beat Smallpox, we beat Living End, we beat Zoo, and we beat... something else. Zoo was first. Lost to Tron. Beat Living End. Beat Smallpox. What was our third round? Goblins. We beat Goblins. So beat Smallpox, Living End, Goblins, and Zoo. Lost to Tron. In terms of testing Counterspell versus Drown in the Loch. In Zoo, we're saying it was a push because there was a turn where we got to Counterspell a Scion of Draco that Drown wouldn't have got to do. Also wouldn't have killed it. But there was also a turn where we were tapped out and our opponent top decked a Territorial Kavu that Drown could have dealt with, but Counterspell couldn't. So it was 50-50. Every other time we countered something that we could have countered with Drown in the Loch. Our opponent did have main deck Endurance, so Counterspell would have been better against that. Against Tron, Counterspell was better, hands down. Against Goblins, Drown in the Loch was better, hands down, because they had Cavern of Souls. Against Living End, I'd say that was a push. Like, Counterspell's better against some of the non-Living End cards, like the 4-drops on 4, stuff like that, if you're on the hearse plan. But either one counters the Living End. And then the last match, I'd probably say it's close to a push there. I think Drown in the Loch's going to counter everything you ever wanted to counter against Smallpox. Maybe there's a case for like your blue mana being at a premium for Counterspell, or if your opponent just goes like land, Liliana, Drown can't stop that. So I could see a little bit of an issue either way. But ultimately not a ton. How crazy it's to run 2 and 2. I think that's probably what we're going to test next time. Is split it up, see what happens. See if there's like more situations that we'd rather see one than the other. It's probably going to end up being like a 3-1 split. Feels right, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. And I don't want to make like crazy assumptions until we've actually played it. Let's see. All right. So, as always, appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out today. Greatly helps the algorithms to keep us up towards the top. Appreciate the new followers, the new subscribers. Appreciate Electric Bob for the raid again. If you are enjoying the channel, feel free to hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything. Just lets you know whenever we go live, so you can come check it out again. Usually live sometime Monday through Friday in the afternoon, playing some Shadow. We'll be mixing in some more like Pioneer and stuff. Probably mixing in some other decks. And we have the occasional variety stream. We played a lot of Subnautica last time. So if that interests you, feel free to come check us out again. Otherwise, hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your Thursday. Stay safe. Enjoy some good food and company. Going to send everybody over to Jab Jabber, who's playing some blue-white Narset in Modern. So if you want to check that out, feel free to share some love from the channel. Other than that, adios for now. Catch y'all later.